Hello summoners and welcome back to another ProGuides video. My name is Irene and today I'll be covering some of the new updates about the VOLIBEAR rework. Hopefully you've had enough time to recover from the psychological terror from the Fiddlesticks VGU, because this VOLIBEAR rework will take you right down memory lane. I'm sure we all loved the noble, fuzzy VOLIBEAR of the past, but Riot's most recent dev post really gets into the whole new bear ready to take on the Rift. More than a bear, we're getting the legendary Thunder God that we were always promised. And that starts with his new rig. He's leaner and meaner than ever. You definitely don't want to see this guy in your local 1,000-acre woods. Seriously, the VOLIBEAR model on live is all good and fine, but the new VOLIBEAR sells all the aspects that Riot really wanted from the beginning. Initially, Riot focused on making VOLIBEAR a model that felt unstoppable, but as the gameplay moved away from slow-eating behemoth to thunder-raining god, VOLIBEAR's model changed as well. Relentless. That's the word that Riot Lutzberg used to describe the direction for VOLIBEAR's new kit and appearance, and it couldn't be more appropriate. On live, VOLIBEAR is practically as threatening as that old teddy bear in the corner of your room, running towards you as you relentlessly stack your CC to stop the sniveling cub. Rather than commit to that direction, Riot has chosen to focus on VOLIBEAR as a savage combination of a Vanguard and a Juggernaut, serving as the first thing you see in a fight, but also as a potential finisher. Just looking at him, this is definitely the bear they told you not to worry about. More defined and warlike. VOLIBEAR looks more like a Juggernaut than ever, clearly ready to go to war over anything and everything. He might not have the armor anymore, but Riot more than made it up with the actual physique and mystique of a bear ready for battle. On that Savage Bear angle, Riot stated that they will be maintaining the general aspects of VOLIBEAR's kit. He's still going to run on all fours, he's still going to take a bite out of you, and there's going to be a lot of lightning when he starts smacking you in the middle of a lane or a team fight. Most notably, rather than having his chain lightning limited to a mere few seconds on his ultimate, Riot Lutzberg is also quoted as mentioning that it will continue as long as he remains in combat. There aren't a whole lot more details on VOLIBEAR's kit past the vague descriptors in the dev post, but his fans have been promised more comprehensive and rewarding E and R abilities that will push the fantasy of being the Freljordian god of the storms. As a relatively straightforward champion on live servers, any bit of utility added to his kit will make for a more bearable experience. We might not have the exact details on VOLIBEAR's abilities, but Riot Naillock and the visual effects team at Riot gave us an exciting new look at what's to come for his particles in the future, sharing numerous textures and visuals of his new E ability. Like Naillock said, the textures don't resemble a whole lot, but once they come together, it's a whole new world. Appearing first as a glowing rune on the ground, you get the feeling that something is about to go down. In combining both the rune particles with cloud and thunder particles, we end up with one of the most exciting abilities on the Rift to date. VOLIBEAR's E ability on live is a modest snarl with lightning and a fear, but the current visuals that are being teased lend itself to a lightning strike from Thor himself. Xerath might want to make a call to Paparito because his W is starting to feel a bit shabby now. On the ability side of things, VOLIBEAR's E looks more like a type of skill shot than a small active AoE fear. Like I said before, Riot spared most of the details on his new abilities, but they also mentioned giving him more skill expression than in the past. As it stands, VOLIBEAR is one of those easy champions that kind of plays itself, and his new E looks like a nice compromise for those who want to stay away from the Lee Sins in the world, but don't mind a bit of an extra challenge. If that's what VOLIBEAR's E looks like, I can't wait to see what his ultimate is going to be. It feels like League has always lacked a true lightning champion. Kennen is cute, but he's mostly an energized rodent, and VOLIBEAR is really setting out to be that guy. It remains to be seen how exactly the lightning particle will be applied, since VOLIBEAR always had chain lightning in his kit, but the initial visuals give us all the evidence we needed that his kit is going to look absolutely incredible. My favorite part about this is that currently a lot of lightning in the game is just really white and a little bit of blue, very, very minuscule amounts. We're talking even on VOLIBEAR's R and on Kennen's R and Kennen's abilities. So this brings together more than just a lightning feeling for the champion, but a storm feeling with clouds and thunder. Anyway, VOLIBEAR's appearance and his particles get great, but we'll get to what's really important, the skins. First and foremost, Riot initially showcased VOLIBEAR with a more grotesque concept attached, mirroring something you'd see in some type of spiritual horror movie. Seriously, the initial concepts are something out of a hit cult film, but that doesn't quite hit on the wartime bear look. VOLIBEAR looked terrifying and was ready to be the next Fiddlesticks level change in appearance. But ultimately, Riot felt he was a little too different. Thankfully though, for fans of his appearance, the concept is being converted into a whole new skin. Love creepy bears you might see in that next nature-based thriller? We hope so, because when the skin launches, everyone who owns Volibear will be receiving the skin for free. This also includes everyone who decides to pick up Volibear during his rework patch, so save up that blue essence. Soon after, the Eldritch Horror skin will be purchasable in the shop like every other tantalizing skin out there. And before we forget, the skin's official name will be Thousand Pierced Volibear, a name fitting for a terrifying skin. When you look at the concept art alongside the word relentless that we used earlier, what's more relentless than a bear that looks like he literally was unstoppable, running through an army, has swords sticking out of his back because he just does not give a damn. And when it comes to this skin, Riot was even nice enough to throw in this splash art teaser. I sure wouldn't want to be that guy. But it doesn't end there. Like every other rework, Riot is looking to revitalize the skin line along with the champion in hopes of making everything in League of Legends just that more modern. For Volibear, this means a neat reboot to one of his debut skins, the Northern Front. In the original Northern Front skin, Volibear is donned in standard cold time war attire, but Riot has looked towards the existing Arctic Ops line as the backbone for Volibear's new modern front skin. Rather than stick with the original vanilla concept, Riot ERP is quoted as focusing on two main ideas, bear and electricity. Yes, that means he's just going to be a bit more modern. Initially, Riot wanted to focus on Volibear's original wintertime hat, making it clear that he was a warrior in the cold, but ultimately it didn't stick around in conception. With more modern wear, Volibear's Northern Front concept speaks more to that military tone than the original skin wanted. Frankly, his original skin was very goofy, and the initial concepts were far more in line with the ideal balance of winter warfare. The initial concepts are nothing to sneeze at, but the latest development is what's really exciting for Volibear fans. Straying away from the initial camouflage and wartime flavors, Riot eventually settled on a white, monochromatic version that really sells the Arctic agent ready to crush your skull. He's got a battery pack, sleek white clothing, a terrifying jaw piece, and most importantly, he's got pants. Kennan's going to want to watch out because this skin is already more electrifying than his own Arctic Ops skin. The skin serves as a polar opposite from Volibear's live concept, and that's what makes it so charming. Skins are perfect for conveying that fantasy perception of a champion, and this lets us imagine a technological, measured Volibear where his rage isn't necessarily the main focus. Anyway, we hope that you enjoyed Volibear's new fit as much as we did. We'll definitely be checking out the shop once it hits servers. Behind all the fancy particles, character models, and skins, there's the voice that carries us all along the way. That's right, Volibear's voiceover is also getting an update, and Riot shared more than a few details on that. Ultimately, their desired direction isn't too different from before. Volibear still wants to be an angry bear snarling at everyone to get off his lawn. No, really, you guys need to stop taking his Krugs because junglers do need gold too. But more than being just angry, Riot Jirsan wanted to focus on a few key pillars for his voiceover: God of Storms, Primal Power, and Ferocious Bear. On working to create that primal and aggressive nature, Riot focused on recording more natural, terrifying sounds. This includes a literal avalanche, a drum treated to sound more than a thunderclap, and the snarls of an elephant? The first two contribute to a solid 1-2 punch for things like Volibear's new Q ability. What's not to love about the sound of thunder following an avalanche? It might be nature's perfect pairing, and the perfect sound to finally get your jungler to respect Volibear's early game. Finally, Volibear's Q will be worthy of the name Rolling Thunder. Let's get more on that elephant sound. You'd be surprised to hear how menacing their breathing sounds. If I didn't know any better, I would have assumed that Riot went all the way to the North Pole just to record an angry polar bear. Never discount the sound of the games. They are literally in the background the whole time, and they make your fancy gamer headsets worth buying. But there's more than just natural sounds and elephant snarling. There's Volibear's actual voice lines.
Storm devour you! Bones crunch, blood drips. This is the way of old warrior.
As Riot said, it's important for every champion to feel modernized and brought to life. Just look at Fiddlesticks. He basically just cackled before and cracked a few jokes. Now he's the literal nightmare of the Rift. Volibear is getting similar treatment, moving into the future as something that's more than just an angry armored bear. Going with their new theme of godlike, Riot has focused on a balance of solemn, violent, and just plain bloodthirsty. Think Nasus if he got rabies, or he got into a really bad fight with his brother Renekton. No, really, Riot shared a few voice lines that really sell that idea, and we're all actually shaking in our boots here. Volibear is both wistful and terrifying, a perfect combination for a godlike warring bear. Gentle giant isn't the right term to use here, but Volibear really does carry that notion of a balanced warmonger. He's not fighting and burning things down for no reason, but that also doesn't mean he doesn't enjoy doing it. Ultimately, his voice bellows out like that standard evening thundercloud, raining upon everyone before splitting eardrums and going away into that good night. Volibear is one of League of Legends' oldest champions, and it wouldn't be the same without him. Though he has seen limited play in all of his years on the Rift, always finds a way to make a quirky impact one way or another. Just last year, he even made his way into pro play, flipping Yumis and biting off the heads of AD carries. Even so, everything about this rework is necessary and exciting, and we can't wait to see him on the Rift with his new electrifying particles, flashy new model, and bone-crushing voice lines. But that's all we have today for the Volibear rework dev post. As more and more information comes out, we'll be keeping you guys updated, so leave a like and also subscribe so you can stay up to date. And also, my question of the day is, what has been your favorite rework ever? Mine has been Sion, because Sion used to run around building full AP, having literally an R that was only used for Lichbane, and then a Q that was also only used for Lichbane. He basically just pressed W and E, and he would two-shot you. So that champion walked around, had an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression, and that was basically the gist of it. He was a bit of a shtick. Now, he's this gigantic barreling human, I guess kind of human, undead abomination, whatever he is, battering ram of Noxus. What's not to love about that? So leave your answers to the question of the day in the comments below, and we'll check those out. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the Rift.